Hello everyone, MUFS here to welcome you to channel 941 for a full guide to SCS Truck Sim. In the previous episode, we talked about how to unlock the console and what the options are in the video settings and audio settings. Today, we are going to discuss the rest of the settings in the game. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, please watch them before this episode. You may learn a few new things. The links are in the description and you will also find the link to the series in the end. If you have seen the previous videos, sit back and enjoy in a big screen so that you don't miss any details. In this episode, we will go through some useful settings that will help you throughout the gameplay. So, without further ado, let's get started. I consider three levels of drivers in the game. Newbies, who just started the game and doesn't know much about it. Familiar, who started the game a while back and know many things about the game but not everything. Realistic, who played the game for a long time and know a lot of things about the game and is bored with regular gameplay and want to drive like a real world trucker. I will discuss all the things in a way so that no matter what your driving level is, you will learn something from it. Gameplay settings. Today I will start with the gameplay settings details. As you can see, on the top it has an option of random desktop background theme. There are few backgrounds available, and if you check this option, the game will randomly change the background with the time you set below in desktop fade out delay. Fatigue simulation lets your driver become tired and after certain time, that is after 11 hours in ETS2 and 14 hours in ATS, your driver will need to sleep. Remember, whether you turn this on or off, your employee drivers will always sleep after that certain time period. If you check this traffic offense box on, you will have to drive more carefully like in real life, as crashing onto other vehicles, violating the red lights, forgetting to turn on the indicators or headlights and things like those will cause you to get a ticket and a fine, which will reduce your bank balance. Realistic drivers should turn this on. By default, preferred job length factor is selected as 100%, but if you turn it to 150%, you'll get jobs that will let you drive farther distance in the map. Every level of drivers can take benefit from this option because longer route means more money. But keep in mind that the more you drive, the more you need to stop to rest in a single delivery if your fatigue simulation is on. Route Advisor speed limit will let you choose whether you want to see the truck limit, car limit, or turn it off. Route Advisor speed warning will help you to drive if your route advisor is on. The digital speed will turn red if you start crossing the speed limit of the road you are driving on. Newbies and familiar drivers can use it, but realistic drivers can turn this off. If this automatic parking dialog box is checked, when you reach the destination, an option will pop up to ease your parking. In my opinion, this option is only for newbies, as you will not get any XP for the parking if you press OK on the dialog on the delivery. While you are driving on the road, your route advisor will show you lots of information, as you may have seen in the tutorial. If you hide the route advisor with F3 and it needs to show you something, it will pop up if the box is unchecked. If you check this box, the hints and various information will be always hidden on the screen and it will give you the vibe of driving a real truck. When you level up enough, you will be able to haul heavy cargo. If you check this box, before taking a heavy load, you will be able to see whether your truck meets the criteria to haul that heavy cargo or not. Recommended for newbies, others can also reap benefit out of it. Map alignment determines what kind of map to show on your route advisor. This can also be changed during driving if you set a button for this. Show navigation shows you the selected route as per your choice. You can select to show never, job map only, world and job map, or always. Navigation mode shows you the different route options based on your preference. Parking difficulty is the option drivers should look into. Always select will let you choose your parking method on the delivery spot. In this way, newbies and familiar drivers can check if the skilled parking is hard or not, and can try out skilled parking if it is not very hard. If you set it to skilled parking, you will always have to back up the trailers to deliver it. Sometimes they are very hard to park as well, but you will get the most XP out of it. Safe parking will always let you drive forward and park. It will give you lower XP. Recommended for newbies. Familiar drivers can choose anything they want. If you choose random parking, it will give you random options without asking you. Sometimes easy, sometimes skilled. Realistic drivers can reap the benefit out of it, as it will give you the feel of the real life trucking where you are given random parking space. There are random road events on the road, like AI vehicles breakdown, police stopping AI vehicles, road construction, etc. How much of those you will be able to see is determined with this slider. Putting the detour slider in the middle will give you a detour in almost every 2 deliveries. Remember, sometimes detours can cause you drive a very long route than normal and may cost you delivery time. Rain probability will determine how much it will rain. If you push the slider all the way to 0%, it will never rain. Pushing it to 50% will make it rain continuously. After that, the more right you go towards 100%, you will increase the intensity of the rain towards storm. Time zones will let you choose whether you want to see the time changes with the crossing of time zones, or will it remain as is. There are various cutscenes in the game. Unchecking this will not show them, but I recommend you to see the cutscenes, as it will give an idea about various things and will get you immersion. Introduced in version 1.45, you can now hide the road blockers by unchecking this show blockers box and make the world look like real life. But remember, the invisible walls will be still there to stop you from going inside the road. Be warned. Invert mouse, reverse the mouse for those who are used to that. We will talk about transmission type when we discuss in details about transmissions in episode 4. For now, just know that you can change your transmission type from here as well as the controls menu. Smart sequential shifting helps you to shift more than one gear in sequential gearbox setting. If you uncheck this box and drive in sequential, you will need to press the button more than once to upshift or downshift more than one gear. I will talk more about sequential later on. If you are playing on keyboard or controller, you should check the steering auto center box to make the steering go center or straight when you release the key after turning it to left or right. If you use a steering wheel to play, your steering wheel's rotation will match the animation range over here. If by any chance you have changed it to something else, now is your time to make the correction based on your wheel. That way, you will have a 1:1 ratio of steering movement on the wheel and the wheel on the screen. Braking intensity, truck stability, trailer stability, truck suspension stiffness, and trailer suspension stiffness does exactly what they say. You slide the slider to the right to increase and left to decrease. You can set these as per your choice. Advanced trailer coupling is something for the realistic drivers. When you pick up a job with your own truck, you need to hook up the trailer after backing up your truck to the trailer. If this box is unchecked, you can put the truck near the trailer and will be able to attach it without facing any problems. The trailer will be adjusted and attached to your truck automatically. If the box is checked, you'll need to be precise with your truck and line up your trailer's kingpin with your truck's fifth wheel to hear a click to lock. Only then you can roll up the legs and attach the trailer connections. The latter is real-life simulation and for pro drivers only. But remember, no one is a pro unless they practice and make it perfect. You can choose from this drop-down menu to select which truck will show the trailer cables. If you have a less powerful GPU, you can put this to none, or if your GPU supports, you can put it to player and all traffic trailers. By default, all the trucks are limited to 90 km per hour speed. You have to uncheck it to drive beyond that limit. For example, in UK, the highest speed limit is 97 km per hour or 60 mph, and in Bulgaria, the highest speed limit is 100 km per hour or 62 mph. If this box is checked, you'll still be driving at 90 km per hour in those areas. Rain sensor will start your wiper automatically if this box is checked. You'll have to set your wiper to the lowest speed in the game though. Automatic retarder, automatic engine brake, automatic engine and electricity start, automatic parking brake engage, and automatic drop of liftable axles does exactly what they tell you. You don't need to worry about them, but it is recommended to check those boxes on for the newbie drivers. Familiar and realistic drivers can check the boxes on for air brake simulation and realistic fuel consumption. It will give them the feeling of driving a real truck as the air pressure of the brake can get low and realistic fuel consumption can be more than regular. Anti-lock braking system makes your truck's tire lock and skid on the road if you brake too hard. Traction control dictates the traction of your tires. Modern trucks have cruise control. Drivers put their truck to a certain speed and maintain the speed with cruise control. It is a mechanism where your truck speed is controlled by the vehicle's computer. You can release your accelerator and the truck will still drive in a steady speed. You can increase or decrease that speed with 5 km, 2 km or 1 km steps. Also, you can set the tolerance level where your truck will automatically start to reduce the speed if the set speed is lower than the truck speed. Adaptive cruise control reduces the speed of your truck based on the speed of the vehicle in front. Emergency brake system brakes the truck hard if the vehicle in front is stopped suddenly. Older generation trucks did not have cruise control and ABS or automatic braking system. So if you are a realistic driver who drives a classic truck, don't use the cruise control or ABS over here. Instead, try to keep the speed steady with your accelerator and brake pedals. Those of you who are afraid of headlight usage fine because you tend to forget to turn on the headlights can check here to not get tickets anymore. But for this you need to turn on the parking lights. The headlights will turn on automatically when it is needed. Similarly, if you drive at night and use high beams a lot and forget to turn it off when other vehicles are approaching from the opposite side, you can check this box to have the game turn it down automatically for you. Nowadays, modern European trucks have this feature. Just note that flashing high beam onto the vehicles on the opposite lane does not have any fines or tickets for it. You should check this box to make sure your blinkers or turn signals turn off automatically like real trucks as you straighten your steering wheel. By default, this is checked, but if you by mistake turned it off, turn it on now. If you have cabin accessories, you should check this box on so that your accessories move with the movement of your truck. You should turn on steering camera rotation and or blinker camera rotation to look around if you are playing with keyboard and don't have any controllers to do that. You can fine-tune the movement by tweaking these sliders. You can always use your mouse to look around, but some people like me use controller's right analog stick to do that. Many people buy expensive infrared headbands and eye trackers to look around. Looking around is a must-have thing in the game while driving, especially in a junction of roads and while backing up the truck. Starting from version 1.44, ATS and ETS have a new option. Physical camera movement lets you decide whether or not you want your camera to shake and give you the feel of a real truck driving in an uneven road. Physical camera movement factor lets you decide how much movement will be there in the cabin, and interior camera horizon locking factor lets you decide how much movement will be there in the cabin horizontally. If you don't like the truck to move much horizontally, you can turn this slider down so that it doesn't move that much. Modern trucks have good suspension system under driving seats and they don't move much horizontally, but they do move a bit. Regional settings will help you by showing the measurement values in your chosen region's measurements. You can also mix and match to your need. You can select whether you want to see localized country names and secondary names of the cities in the map. The chat settings and the convoy settings will help you to chat with your friends in multiplayer convoy mode. You can tweak these as per your need and liking. Finally, you can adjust your quick replies here and customize them as per your need. Control settings. Now we will go through the controls where you can do magic before going into the keys and buttons settings. I have 4 main controllers apart from my keyboard and mouse. I use a Logitech G29 wheel and pedals, a Logitech G27 shifter which is connected directly to my PC through USB, one Xbox controller, and last but not least, a Logitech Extreme 3D Pro to assist me in different situations. In the first drop-down menu, I have selected keyboard plus G29 wheel. This is very important. You need to keep your keyboard along with your wheel unless you want your game to not to recognize your keyboard while playing with your wheel. If you want to play with your controller, you look for your controller over here. The serial over here will determine the serial of your controllers. Notice how I selected my wheel as the first, shifter as the second, Xbox controller as the third, and Extreme 3D Pro as the fourth controller over here. When doing key bindings, you must keep that in mind if you have multiple controllers. If you are playing with a wheel, select the controller subtype as wheel. If you are playing with joystick controller, make sure that it has selected gamepad joystick over here. Here you can select which type of transmission you want to play with. Remember when I told you that you can change your shifting style later? This is where you do it. You can select from simple automatic, real automatic, sequential, and edge shifter. If you are playing in any automatic driving mode, here you can select whether your truck will draw more power or balance it or run in the economy mode. This does not work in edge shifter mode. Adaptive automatic transmission lets your truck run more with fuel efficiency or power efficiency. Steering sensitivity and steering non-linearity sliders are by default set to these points and don't need to be moved. This is the force feedback section. The first slider adjusts the overall force feedback gain, whereas the other sliders choose each topic one at a time. Tweak them as you drive and try to adjust to your need. Depending upon your controller, some of the subjects may be grayed out as they don't have any effects on your controller. You don't get to tweak these unless you have a controller that supports force feedback. Here you can control various axes of your controllers. Steering axis is for your steering wheel and you don't need to put any dead zone for it. But if you have put any dead zones over here, now is your time to put it to 0. Acceleration, brake, and clutch axis are going to affect your A, B, C. You can have a dead zone if you are using a pedal so that your feet can rest on them while driving and yet it will not affect your game with the light press of your feet. To look up, down, left, right, I use my Xbox controller's right analog stick. You can do that with your mouse as well. If you don't have any controllers to do that, these options will be grayed out. But if you use a controller, don't put any dead zone here unless your controller is old and has some axis problems. We will talk about the edge shifter layout later when we discuss about the manual shifting in the next episode. If you have a controller, your mouse pointer can be controlled with that as well as your mouse. You can reset the controller here and then choose the speed of the pointer movement over here. If you have a lot of money and want to further enhance the experience of the game, you can send signal outside to control your environment lights to show the same color as your game. To do that, you need to buy special lights and you need to check this box on after installing them. If you have Tobii eye tracking device, you can control it here. Remember, eye tracking devices and infrared headbands can be expensive, but they can be a game changer. Keys and buttons. Here, in this keys and buttons section, we will discuss how you should keybind your game controls. I will tell you which controls are must have, which controls are good to have, and which controls are not needed. But keep one thing in mind, you don't need to keep the key bindings the way it is by default. You can always change the button layout to your liking and assign the keys you want to play with. I totally reconfigured my profile in this section. Version 1.49 came with some great updates and modifier keys are one of them. With the use of modifiers, you can assign 2 more functions in a single button, which is very helpful with controllers. Also, now you can have both short press and long press to control 2 functions in a single button. So, if you have a single modifier, you can have up to 4 different functions in a single button. 1 short press, 1 long press, 1 short press with modifier, and 1 long press with modifier will allow doing just that. Imagine what you can do if you have just 3 modifiers on. You can long or short press the button without any modifiers, long or short press the button with modifier A, long or short press the button with modifier B, long or short press the button with modifier C, long or short press the button with modifier A and B, long or short press the button with modifier B and C, long or short press the button with modifier C and A, long or short press the button with modifier A, B and C. You can understand where I am going, right? Now imagine what you could do if you had all the 5 modifiers on. But honestly, you really don't need that many modifiers. 1 is sufficient enough. I use 2 of them because the second one is solely for my 4th controller. By default, your throttle, brake or reverse, steering left and right buttons have 2 sets of keys assigned. You need only 1 set of them to play with your keyboard, so make sure you unassign the rest of them. If you have controllers or steering wheels and pedals, you can drive through them as well. But if you have steering wheel attached and press any keyboard steering keys, the truck will steer left or right in an instant. You should select Shift up and down even though you have other controllers. This will help you in any automatic transmissions. Shift to neutral is very important when you drive in sequential mode. Sometimes when you are in top of your gear and if you need to stop to halt, you will need to start from gear 1. Shift to neutral will help you in that situation. Otherwise, you can shift down to go to neutral. Shift up hint and shift down hint are very important in automatic mode. If you are driving automatic and your gear is stuck and your truck is revving and won't go up a gear even if it has more gears to go, you can ask the transmission to shift the gear with these buttons. Gearbox switch automatic or sequential lets you choose automatic or sequential quickly on the go. But you have to be in automatic or sequential mode to do that. You can't use that in H shifter or simple automatic mode. Many people use only start stop engine in the game. But a realistic driver should start electricity first, then go for the start engine. This is why assigning both is important for a realistic driver. But nowadays newer vehicles can start with a press on the accelerator. So you can start your truck with a press on that, I guess. Parking brake is a must thing to have and you should be very careful about using it for your truck when it is parked. Engine brake will activate engine brake momentarily as you press it. Engine brake toggle will toggle engine brake on or off with each press. You can keep either of them, but keeping both of them is impossible. Also, momentary engine brake deactivates the cruise control, whereas the engine brake toggle doesn't affect cruise control and activates as soon as the truck is released from it if toggle is set to on while driving. Engine brake increase and decrease will enhance or reduce engine brake power respectively. Trailer brake will activate trailer brake momentarily as long as you press it. Trucks with retarders are easier to drive on slopes as it helps the trucks to stay in speed. These buttons are very important for realistic drivers. Newbies and familiar drivers usually use foot brake to stop the truck. Just remember, not all trucks have retarders. Lift drop axle can lift or drop truck axle, whereas lift drop trailer axle can lift or drop trailer axle if the truck or the trailer has any liftable axles. Differential lock helps trucks to climb up a road with ease. This is a must-have for any drivers as it locks the differential axles and all the wheels start to move simultaneously. Before applying, make sure the truck you are driving has differential lock. Front suspension up, front suspension down, rear suspension up, rear suspension down, and suspension reset are new options from version 1.44, and they will assist you to line up perfectly with your trailer and drive in an uneven road more smoothly. But keep it in mind that if you think that you will lower your suspension and will drive with better aerodynamics in the highway, then you are wrong. If you speed up over 50 km per hour or 32 miles per hour, the truck suspension will be automatically resetted. Left turn and right turns indicator is a must to have to drive on the road without getting any tickets or fines. Hazard warning is used when a truck is delivering a trailer or going in a very slow speed in a high-speed road in real life. So, for realistic drivers, it is a must. Light modes is a must for any drivers as you need to turn on or off your headlights on the go. So is the high beam headlights. Beacon is an optional thing in a truck, so those of you who have attached a beacon should assign a beacon switch to turn it on or off. Horn or air horn is a must, but in reality you cannot blow horns in some places, so realistic drivers keep that in mind. Also, European trucks in quick jobs may not have air horns. Most of the drivers in Europe and America use a slide horn, so you need to assign a key to that. If you have turned the rain probability on, you need the wipers. But you can skip wipers back button as pressing wiper button the fourth time will stop it after 3 different speeds. I told you earlier that cruise control is a great thing for driving in a steady speed. Cruise control button will toggle the cruise control on or off. If you use a manual transmission, cruise control resume will come in handy. Cruise control increase or decrease button will help you to increase or decrease the speed in your chosen steps. This is a must for realistic drivers, optional for others. Dashboard display mode changes the display in the dashboard. You can view many different information from your truck through it. Dashboard map mode changes the onboard map of your truck dashboard. Dashboard trip info reset makes your trip distance count to 0. All of these are important for realistic drivers. Opening and closing left and right windows are optional as they are mostly cosmetic and it came with version 1.38. Only realistic drivers will need to assign keys to them as they do nothing more than changing the sound from outside. Function buttons play a great role in your gameplay and you do not need to reassign them unless you really want to. F1 pause or resume the game, F2 show hide the on-screen mirrors, F3 show hide the route advisor on navigation, F4 lets you adjust the truck with seat adjustment, mirror adjustment and light adjustment. F5 takes you to navigation page in route advisor and pressing again will zoom the map in cycle. F6 will show the job info page. F7 will show the diagnostic page, F8 will show the info or message page, F9 will show the chat page. You can assign 2 keys to Route Advisor next page and previous page for easy access. Route Advisor destination mode button will switch between your final destination and nearest selected point without the need for you to pause the game and do it with your mouse. Assistant action 1 to 5 will help if you are stuck in a bad situation. These keys can be assigned elsewhere without making any key conflicts. In the camera section, 1 through 8 are various camera positions, whereas pressing 9 will cycle you through the cameras one by one. If you have activated console, which I showed you in the second episode, pressing 0 will take you under the truck for fly mode, which is not shown over here. If you use mouse steering, rotate camera is a must for you to assign in any key. Zoom interior camera is a must for all kind of drivers. As you cannot get out of the truck easily, many times you will need to zoom to look at details outside your truck. Pressing and holding look left or look right will slowly let you change your view to the left or right respectively. It will not center the view once you release the key. Interior look forward will reset your head only if you are inside the cabin. Pressing interior look up right and up left will make you look up and right or up and left towards the mirror, while interior look right and left will make you look at the right or left window directly. Interior look up middle will make you look up and middle of the cabin. Steering based camera rotation will turn the camera based upon your steering rotation. Blinker based camera rotation will turn the camera if you turn on your blinker or turn signal. If you assign keys to them, they might come in handy if you drive with your keyboard. When I first saw this walk section in 1.38, I thought we finally can go out and walk around. But no, this is only to walk around your truck when your truck is in the mechanic shop. There is a walk icon which you can click and then you can walk around. So you can assign these keys to do that. These keys will not interfere if the same keys are assigned to do other things. Activate button is used for many different things, such as selecting things, refueling your truck by pressing and holding, paying toll, etc. My personal choice is the enter button on the keyboard for this job. Trailer attach detach button does what it says. This one is very important for all drivers. By default, it is the T button, but I always reassign it to num enter. Menu button is by default escape key and you cannot change it. But if you want to, you can add another key to it. But that is unnecessary unless you want to do it directly from the controller. Quick save and quick load will quickly save or load your game. Important for newbies. Audio player buttons will let you play, pause, go to next, previous track, turn up, down the volume while you drive. It is totally up to you whether you want it or not. World map is a must to have button. You must have one key assigned to it. Garage manager is an optional button, but I recommend having one assigned to quickly access your garages and drivers. You can take screenshot with F10 and reset your infrared head tracker or eye tracker with F12. You can also enable head tracker by selecting a key for this button over here. I have never used pause extended view or any extended view presets, so I'm not sure of what they do. If anyone knows about it, you can let me know in the comments. When you are playing in multiplayer convoy, chat only appears if someone writes something in the chat. If you want to write something, you need to activate the chat before writing anything. The chat will fade away if you have selected that in the settings. Quick replies will let you select and edit quick replies presets. If you want to talk in the CB radio while in multiplayer convoy, you should assign this button to a key. You can show hide name tags over your friend's truck in multiplayer convoy mode with this button. Online settings. The online settings control your online status. You can get online news, image spotlight, and dynamic billboards when you drive in online. By default, these are checked and you don't need to tweak them in any way. If you have tweaked a profile setting to your liking and then you are afraid to create a new profile simply because you don't know whether you will be able to tweak it to the same perfection or not, don't worry, just create a new profile, then save the game and exit. Now go to your game folder in My Documents, open the folder named Profiles or Steam Profiles depending upon the type of profile you have. Make the files sorted by create date, then select the previous profile and copy these 3 files to your new profile. Now start the game and you will get all your previous settings there. That's all for today. We are going to end the episode over here. In the next episode, we will talk about various shifters and how to shift your gears like real truckers. It will be fun and interesting. I believe after watching that video and giving it a few tries, you will be able to drive trucks with manual shifters with ease. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. A press on the thumbs up button will be highly appreciated and it will encourage me to create more contents like this. You can press the thumbs down button if you wish to, but I would urge you not to. Let me know in the comment section if the video helped you or not. Also, comment if you want to know anything else about the truck sims beyond the series. I will try my best to solve your problem. Share the video so that your friends can enjoy and learn the game as well. Hope to see you guys in the next episode where we will learn about the transmissions. Till then, stay safe, take care and bye bye. MUFS signing off.